Good evening, thank you for joining us and welcome back to DXB Today, where we're delving into how to future-proof yourself. And we have many questions, but we have some wonderful people here to answer some of those questions. On to our next guest and another question. How do education policies align with the UAE's broader vision? Well, let's find out, shall we? From the lady in the know, and she is the Education Policy Officer Director at ADEK, Sylvie Wald. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure and an honor. So that I addressed that question to you, but with the fast evolving evolution of the UAE, there's so many policies and procedures that are constantly changing. How do you keep up?
Well, surprisingly, in the schooling sector, it has been relatively stable. In Abu Dhabi, we had a first set of policies that were issued in 2014. And in fact, our issue was instead, well, we've had policies that now have been around for 10 years. It's time to update them. So we've actually embarked on a 3-year journey, which we've just finished, and we've just issued a new set of policies, 39 for schools, 27 for nurseries and early education institutions, where we address everything from transportation to curriculum to career and career guidance. So there has been a lot of work that has happened in the last year in terms of updating our policies and making sure that they're relevant to today's needs.
Nutrition, is that a key
Absolutely,
factor?
that is something that is in our policies as
That's
well.
good.
Yeah. Well, you'll be glad to know that there is a new food and nutrition policy, both for early education institutions as well as for schools, to make sure that children are, that we're prioritizing their well-being. And I think one of the most interesting things that came out of the review of these policies, we did an enormous research project where we worked with thousands of educators, basically started with a survey in order to understand what they thought about the existing policies, where we needed to update policies, where we need to have new policies, where we needed to delete old ones as well that were no longer relevant. And the major winner in terms of the one area that needed more development was in the area of well-being.
Sylvie, I have to ask you, the UAE being quite a young country, we tend to, on all aspects of life, take a lot of inspiration from global entities who have been making waves. What steps are being taken to get inspiration from other countries and what they're doing in their systems, but also while still preserving what we have here? That's
an excellent question, and that is kind of the bedrock of our policies, especially in a place where, like Abu Dhabi, where it is very different. All over the UAE, you will notice, whether it's Al Quwain or Dubai, but in Abu Dhabi, we have stark differences between places like Abu Dhabi City, Al Ain, Al Dhafra as well. And the ability to make sure that all of our policies were rooted in UAE national identity is something that that was very, very important to us. So throughout our policies, you will see that there is always this underlying need for children to understand that as they become adults, as they develop their competencies, at the end of the day, they also need to understand that they are global citizens in a local context, and they need to, of course, the respect for the local culture, local traditions, and local mores are just as important as everything else.
I love that.
I'm actually curious about this, about the educational policies ever-growing change. A lot of students nowadays are better with practical kind of outputs rather than exams and learning, because memorizing things isn't always the core strength of a student. And I know that from personal experience. I wasn't doing well in school, but in university, when it was all practicality, I was excelling in it. So do you think that education policies will change to adapt that and make it more of a practical thing, which they can carry on to universities and then maybe to their workplace?
Absolutely, and the Abu Dhabi, the ADEK policies do that very much, in the sense that, first of all, we're no longer looking at education as, students as part of a system. We're looking at each individual student and seeing how the system can ensure that each one will thrive in their own environment. So not only are we talking about differentiating pedagogy in order to make sure that each child is catered to in their own way, in the way that they learn best. We have a new inclusion policy as well, which goes beyond just supporting students with special needs and who are actually diagnosed, going beyond and saying there are other children who may not be medically diagnosed, but who still need that additional help. and making sure that each teacher in every single classroom in Abu Dhabi is addressing the ability for each student to be able to thrive in their own environment. Beyond that, we also have a new career and university guidance policy that really, traditionally these types of policies focus on preparing students for the elite universities, making sure that they're going to enter the Grand Slam universities of the world. Today, that's not what we're looking for. Our main indicator is about how well the school's career and university guidance program prepares a student for what is their best fit. So our new indicator is not how many students are going into top 3 universities in the world, but how many students are being accepted into their top 3 destinations, whether that be in higher education, vocational education, whether it's a structured year of sabbatical and a program that they want to undertake, whether it's another gap year and another a program, a personal project that they have, traveling, whatever it might be. So that's how we're addressing that.
Wow, Sylvie, some phenomenal work you are doing. So thank you so much for coming to share that with us on DXB today. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Throwing over to Meta, actually, something for Professor Heather, putting you on the spot.
Oh, yes. I wondered what this was.
I love that surprise element. It's beautiful.
So, Professor Heather, we have DXP in 60, which means I have several questions for you and you have to answer as much as possible in 60 seconds.
Wow.
But don't worry, everything is about you, so it should be easy. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Your first job.
Oh, my goodness me. That was working in an advertising agency in London.
Oh, wow, okay. Your motto in life and in work.
There's no such sentence as I can't do it. You have to add the word alone to the end of that.
Well, I love that. Your best advice to any new graduates looking for your work.
Try everything. Try absolutely everything. Honestly, you can't be what you can't see. Go and find out what you need to see.
Oh, I love that. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Sheikh Mohammed.
Oh, nice. And any New Year goals for 2025?
Yes, I do. My goal is to move us into our additional premises this year because we are taking another 55,000 square foot to enable us to expand. And I want to move in on time, on budget, and help to continue to create capacity for this wonderful country.
Very nice. Best way to unwind after a stressful day?
Get my husband to cook for me.
So finally, why Dubai?
Oh, I love Dubai. I have been trying to come here for ages. It is the most amazing place. I love the energy. I love the can-do attitude. I love the productivity. And above all, I love the people.
That was absolutely wonderful. We've been doing this for a while. I must say that was one of the best answers I've heard on the show.
What about why Dubai? Or?
Everything you said. There were some quotes in there. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, and please join us again if you can.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eva. And thank you very much as well, Sylvia.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Now we've connected the guests and we are going to still be here because we still have some wonderful music. It's DXB Today, of course. So make sure and log on. We've got Toy and AJ. See you soon.